AI feels relentless right now. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Meta AI. It seems like every tech giant is completely focused on it. But here's something that a lot of people don't realise. Not all of these AI companies will survive. Every tech boom creates winners, and it also creates casualties. So the real question is, which AI company is most at risk and why? Now, before naming companies, let's actually explain what kills tech firms. So number one, massive burn rates. Training AI models cost a lot of money and a lot of resources. Number two, no sustainable revenue. Hype doesn't pay the bills, customers do. Number three, no competitive moat. If competitors can copy you easily, margins collapse. Number four, regulation risk. Governments are watching AI pretty closely, although they're quite slow with keeping up with them. Number five, dependency on bigger platforms. Some AI firms rely on cloud providers or partnerships. So which AI's business model is the strongest, and which are most at risk of a bubble popping? Well, let's start with the biggest one first, OpenAI, ChatGPT. Now, the big thing of ChatGPT is it's got the first mover advantage. So it's got massive brand recognition, everyone knows it, it's the most famous of the language models, strong enterprise adoption, and it has a partnership with Microsoft. So these are all pretty huge. The risks, however, there are extremely high compute costs. There's a heavy reliance on Microsoft now, and there's a lot of pressure to justify valuation. But what this means is that OpenAI isn't likely to die first, but it has enormous pressure to turn dominance into profit. Now let's move on to Claude AI. Now Claude has strong safety positioning because it's backed by Amazon and Google, and it's known for being very reliable. However, Claude does have less mainstream visibility. It's competing directly with OpenAI and ChatGPT, and it needs enterprise scale. So Claude is a bit quieter and making less impact than ChatGPT, but it's well funded. So the risk isn't collapse, it's more being outpaced. Google Gemini. Now, Gemini is one of the most interesting cases, and that's because Claude's got massive infrastructure. It's got huge search dominance, it has cloud power, and it has cache reserves. In terms of risks, however, the AI actually threatens their business model, as Google makes its money from ads. However, people are looking at the AI search bit at the top that summarises things. Are people even going to get to the ads, or even the organic searches? And this can create internal disruption, and it has slower innovation cycles in comparison to other platforms. I don't see this one dying, but its business model could be challenged. Meta AI. So Meta's strength is it has an open source strategy, and it has an easy social platform integration, obviously because it's part of Meta, and of course Meta has very deep pockets. But its monetization at the minute is very unclear. It doesn't really bring in any core revenue yet, and it's competing on a lot of fronts. Although I think Meta will be very incentivized to continue pushing this. We really don't know what's going to happen here. But the thing is, with all of these platforms, they're backed by massive companies with lots of money. So what happens with this when they start to not work or not start to bring in the same revenue? Do they collapse? But here's where it gets interesting. And that's because there are hundreds of AI startups that exist. And these ones, they don't own any infrastructure. They rely on OpenAI APIs. They have incredibly thin margins, and a lot of them are venture capitalist funded. So if we're asking the question of which AI company would actually die first, it's probably not the giants. It's the small, overvalued AI startups with no moat that aren't backed by massive tech companies. And many of their funding, it was raised through hype. They burn a lot of cash, and the tools they offer are often easily replaceable. And when funding tightens, they disappear quietly. The real risk, the AI bubble. Here's the uncomfortable truth. AI doesn't seem to be going anywhere, but valuations might not match reality. Here are some signs of overheating. Every single app adding AI, identical wrappers around APIs, and inflated revenue projections. The first AI companies to die won't be the smartest ones. They'll be the ones that can't turn hype into cash flow. So which AI company will die first? Probably not OpenAI, probably not Google, and probably not Meta. What's more likely, it's the mid-tier AI startups with no real safety net, no enterprise contracts, no infrastructure, and a heavy dependence on outside models. The AI race will most likely not kill the giants. it will quietly eliminate the smaller businesses. But I'd love to know your thoughts, so drop me a comment below. And as always, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.